Okay, so do you see the uh, slide deck? Anybody can respond? Can they see my screen? Okay, very good, very good. So sometime back, maybe a couple of years ago, we wrote a blog on this communication challenges for virtual teams, and that blog has been trending. People have been looking at that blog. Um, but that was written for normal situations, okay? Normal situations when, when teams are virtual and all that. But today's situation is not normal. So I thought maybe we get together and all of us folks in project management, we talk about this. So the teams that we are working with, everybody working from home, um, so how do we overcome some of the difficulties or challenges when the teams are remote or virtual? So we thought we actually had a different topic for today, but we changed that. So I will welcome any thoughts, opinions that you have, um, along with mine. So let me start with that. So this is the agenda: communication challenges, and we identified 6 challenges, and we're going to talk about those. And I'll be there may be some more that you may be thinking, and there are some that may be rolled into that 6, but there may be some very new. So we'll discuss those. And before we go there, RefineM's virtual lunch and learn. I know some of you are back in my webinars almost every month, or whenever you get a chance. But for those who are new, we do this every first Wednesday of the month, and we pick up different topics. This is designed for people to have their lunch and have the learning session also. But some of you who are in Germany or India, for Germany it may be already dinner time, or you might have finished your dinner. And for India, you may be getting ready to sleep. So, but this was designed for that perspective. But you can still have your dinner or your snacks or whatever you like to have. And we cover different kind of topics, as you can see from our webinar. And most of our webinars recordings are available on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and search for RefineM, you will get our channel, and you can subscribe to it. Whenever we post a new video, you will get it. And also, since you signed up for this webinar, so you will be getting the recording in the next few days. So let's start with the dialogue. What are your expectations from this webinar? What do you want to learn? So let's use the chat box for this conversation. What do you want to learn? Anything specific that you want to learn? I might have already covered that in the contents, or not. And even if it is not covered, we can have some conversation about this after I finish my planned agenda. So anyone? Implication of coronavirus or virtual communication? How? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Joe. Lena, how to communicate more effective when per baby. Yeah, that's that's yeah, that's right. Efficient, Ajay, efficient way to conduct virtual communication. Very good, very good, very good. Best way to engage staff team, learn through the crisis and engage in, yes, remote training. Yeah, I have started doing the remote training, and some of the agile workshops, that I never thought can be done virtually. Now we are doing those virtually. And I have so yeah, that is true. My team is scattered across US. I need to help them together more easy. Yes, yes, we'll talk, John. That's a real challenge, and I am enterprise agile coach with IBM, so I have people scattered not only across the US but across the whole world. Um, and it's a challenge, but there are tools, there are methods that you can use uh, that you can use to be effective, to be very effective. Okay, and this is, and some of you already talked about the challenges here, but you can add. And I this is what is my thought, that there is going to be a new norm now. There's going to be a new normal. We may not return back to the old normal that was about a month ago, until about a month ago. There may be a new normal. So we will see how things take shape. And all of us, particularly project managers, some of you who also have knowledge and experience about agile, is about adjusting to what you see, or adjusting to changing needs of the environment, need of the client. the the businesses will keep running, but they will run in a very different manner. We just had a training engagement with a government client that was supposed to happen in April, and that is still happening, but all of that is changed to remote. There was a PMP exam prep class, there was a PM fundamental class, and all of that is going to happen remotely. And I'll share some of the challenges that we are facing there. Yeah, yeah, that's right, yeah. Okay, so it is, so the context of this is not a normal virtual team. It's a virtual team in this environment where everybody from the team is working from their homes. And what kind of challenges you face, and so we'll talk about that. And some of you who are new to this, this is a kind of quick bio of mine. So I started RefineM. It has been now 8 years now. So more than 8 years now. It has been a great journey, a lot of learning experiences, meeting with new people, establishing relationships. Fantastic, very, very good experience. I could not think of getting the similar kind of experience in my VP job in the company where I was working. That was also great, but this is I'm enjoying this one. This particular my new role. I have been doing agile coaching with IBM for almost 4 years. I will be completing 4 years in July. So almost 4 years. I have trained thousands of people there. And also we provide project management, process improvement, consulting, training. I have developed several products, and some of those you see here. And of course, my whole life has been whole professional life has been in project management for over 25 years. Since I started doing project management in sometime around 1985. Okay, so let's move on. What's new at RefineM? So the webinars, as I was talking about, every first Wednesday of the month. So the next one is the career choices for PMPs, and we're going to deliver this through projectmanagement.com. And I do this once a quarter to get my thoughts and messages to the larger project management community, because the projectmanagement.com has so many people who come to that site and can gain advantage of that. So I do that once a quarter, and it is possible that some of the webinars that I do here for RefineM, I may take them to that platform and to get, so that more people can get benefited. And I see thousands and thousands of professionals join the webinar, and later on after the webinar they go to the recording and they send me good feedback, very good feedback. So this is very rewarding. It's very, very rewarding. And I feel good about that. I'm able to share some of my knowledge and experience with the broader project management professionals. So products, essential gear for project managers is a toolkit for project managers. You can download from here. It is a licensed version for individual and companies. The good part of license is that I give you full rights. You can download it, you can modify it, and you can use it. We have the Microsoft Office version and also the Smartsheet version. So both versions are available, and you can use those. PMP exam prep test simulator, we have thousands of questions in those, and then also PMP exam prep online. So we have both of these, and many of you may know that PMP exam change is now moved to the end of December, so you have still little more time to do that. And some of you who are working on Agile team, working Scrum Masters, product owners, Agile coaches, you can use agility assessment to assess the agility of your team. This is a free tool, and you can use it. You can track the progress, like particularly for Scrum Masters and Agile coaches, if you want to see what are the weak areas that you want to focus on and how to improve agility for your teams. This may be a very good tool. This may be an extremely good tool. And then we have some other online training, Agile Fundamental, Agile Business Requirements. So there's some more trainings here, online trainings. And one of the things that we have done, that all our trainings now are online. So you can actually virtual, not online. This is the self-paced training. The other trainings that we do, we used to do at different locations, but now we have made all of them virtual. Okay, so coming to the topic now, the communication challenges for virtual team. So as I was talking about, why the context of communicating in virtual team is more important than ever in the situation that we all are living, the entire world is living in this kind of a situation. Not a good situation, but that's what it is. And all of us need to face it, and face it brilliantly, and we all know what is right to do at this time. And so we should do our part. We should do our part. We should do, social distancing, stay, be and follow all the guidelines, all the things that you hear about, and to keep yourself safe and people around you, your family, and everybody safe. If you are part of a company or part of a team, then most of the companies have asked their employees to work from home, unless they are the emergency services or essential services. So ask your people not to come to office. They should work from home. So that is something that you should do as a person, as a professional too. And if you are supervisor or manager or director, or we should do that. But that is what poses the challenge here. How do you keep working on your projects? How do you keep pushing your projects forward? And communication becomes a big thing. So let's look at some of the challenges and what you can do about those challenges. And I'll go, these 6 I have come up with. So we'll go one by one, and we'll talk about those challenges. What are the challenges, and what could be done? And at the end of each one, I will like to have some conversation here to see if anybody can bring a different viewpoint to this. That would be really, really very good. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one here. So first one is lack of face-to-face interaction. So what are the symptoms of that? Like, the body language, visual cues offer important insights that are often lost in virtual interaction. And if the virtual interaction doesn't involve video and things like that, then that may be a bigger issue. Without this information, like the body language, misunderstanding is more likely, and that may lead to missed requirement, missed understanding, and maybe there are greater potential for conflicts. And it can especially affect hybrid team if co-located team members are getting information that others are not getting. Now, this was for a more normal kind of a thing where part of the team is co-located and then the other people are away. But in this situation, probably you will not see that. You'll probably, this may be true for people who are providing the essential services. They may all not be coming. They may be coming like in rotation and things like that. So what do you do? So for the body language and things like that, video conferencing. I think that's one of the things that is very effective, very effective. Video conferencing whenever possible, you know, and you know, encourage people to, you know, do videos. Okay, so that will be great. So I'm going to open up for my video over here for you know, so you can see me. Okay, and I will encourage if others can do their videos, that will be great. I know your microphones are muted. So video conferencing, I think is a very good tool. Very good tool. I have been delivering trainings. Very good. I see some people coming up here. Very good. Yeah, Joe, your beard has increased. So this is so good. See, we were talking on voice. Now we can see each other. So that's a wonderful feeling. And so you use video conferencing wherever possible, and create opportunity to meet in person. I think that probably for this kind of situation is not the right kind of method or the strategy. But as I was telling you, that we created it for a normal situation, so some of that may not be applicable for the situation that we are in today. Use information radiators. I think this is important. This is important. And information radiators means where the information is. So many times, you know, some of the things like creating a wall of work using some board, not physical board, of course, the virtual boards, where the work is and where the what is the status of the things. So if you can make it or virtual using SharePoint or box folders, like in RefineM we use SharePoint. So everything goes on the SharePoint. And in other organizations, people may use Box, or they may use Google Docs or something like that. So you use those. And I use a physical board at home. So there's a board, my board, and I have all my you know, to do things right on this board. And I see a lot of things on Joe's, you know, the shelf over there, some things. So that's good. That's good. Okay, so I'll stop here, and let's see if anybody has any comment or anything they would like to add to this. Anything? How do you overcome? What are information radiators? Okay, information radiators, you can think of the any way to communicate the status or the what is going on. Okay, so sometimes you can use the boards, right? You can use the boards like a task board or a Kanban board or something like that. And also, if you are updating, you know, kind of your charts and graphs and charts of summary data, dashboards, anything that can tell about what is going on. So it could be a status, it could be a matrix, it could be projections, anything that you think is useful. Maybe sometimes I can, in projects, I use a requirement traceability matrix to see which requirement is where. So that also is a information radiator. So anything, and if you are using Agile, then of course what is your, where is your sprint and the backlog, and how things are moving. So anything that communicates information. So they name information radiators, come the something that radiates information. So so that is what is the meaning of information radiators. Okay. So there are some very good suggestions here that coming in the chat box. So you can see that I see some suggestion coming from Krishna, some coming from Greg. Yes, very good, excellent. Okay, let's move to the next one. Low engagement. The whole team is focused and some people are not engaging, then meeting may be disruptive, right, or disrupted, and that's possible. So what can be done for that is to create a social contract, team charter, and in several teams that I am working now. So one of the social contract is that when we have the conference call or meetings or on WebEx or Zoom or whatever method, everybody will have their videos on, and people don't have to worry about if they are professionally dressed or not dressed, because sometimes people have that kind of a thing in mind that I have to dress up, how can I show up, but we all know you are at home, right? You're not in the office. We all know you are at home. So it doesn't matter. It will basically be, in the beginning, somebody will say, even if somebody says something, nobody's going to say anything. So that's so that will be one of the good things to keep that kind of a social contract. What are the new norms? So establish that, work with the team, and establish some ground rules so that engagement is participation is there. So miscommunication can lead to project delays. So you can create and distributing meeting recordings. That is very useful. So sometimes may have minutes, may not have minutes, but a meeting like this can be recorded. So somebody who missed the meeting, or somebody has to go and take care of something, so they can come back and look at the recordings, and that also serves as the kind of minutes and all that. So and nowadays that recording is very, very common. So record the meetings, and utilize shared workspace, as I was talking about, to view documents and ask questions. Any other ideas for improving engagement when everybody is working virtually? Yeah, increased number of WHF. What is WHF? Work from home. Okay, I got it. Okay, I think it is work from home, Joe. I think that's what you are saying about, work from home. Yeah. Yes. That's right. Yeah, and I hope everybody is looking at the chat box. Mattermost. Okay, very good. Excellent suggestions. Meet regularly. Keep meeting short. Yes, that's right. Keep meeting short. Yes. Okay, all right. Let's go to the next one here. Technical difficulties. Yeah, this is something that is not very uncommon. Meeting infrastructure is most likely to go down. Worst case, at the worst possible time, such as critical meeting. So, and particularly, the bandwidth could be a bigger issue, because now everybody is using it for professional as well as for personal needs. So a lot of people using WhatsApp and Facebook and things like that for doing video communication or video chat with their family, friends, sons, daughters, they are not at the same place. My daughter is in New Haven, Connecticut. She's doing her final year MBA, and she's there. So every day we do a video chat with her, and that uses the bandwidth, because usually earlier we were not doing actually daily call even. Now we do daily call with her, and that can be true for many of us, because there are families who are together in one place, but there could be families that are not together at one place. So the need for the bandwidth has gone up, so that could create some technical difficulties. Any problem with meeting software or hardware, you're trying to figure out where is this button or that button, and things like that. It could the issues could delay impatience, or even sometime attendees being locked out. So those are some of the technical difficulties, and particularly for some of the people who have not used such kind of tools in the past, they have difficulties. So one of my trainers who will be doing my PMP training for this client, so he never used it. He has been doing training for last 25 years. Every time he goes to the place and there's a classroom and he does the training. But now he's not doing, he has not done it. Now he has to do it. So he's facing some of the challenges, and Philip has been really useful to help him, figure it out how it can be done. And then my other trainer, she is very used to do this, so there is no difficulty. So if required, you can ask for more bandwidth if you are a company. But if you are an individual, then it may be okay. I'm not facing much of difficulty working from home. I have a high-speed network, and many of you may already have the high-speed networks. Most of the cities have broadband kind of thing, so you may not face much of difficulty related to the bandwidth. But the usage of the software, uses of the web meeting software and things like that may create challenges. So if you are in a company and you're working in a company, you can call IT support, and most of the companies are very good in providing the IT support. So you can call them. They can look at the problem. They can fix the problem, and you may have to test everything before you install or before you use that. So there are some of the tips here how to overcome technical difficulties. So you can take advantage of this, and there could be more difficulties. Yeah. So Dan is saying that sometimes cameras are distracting. Maybe it could be. So I think see whatever works best. And I pay virtual. Where is Waldo with my team using playful items? Yeah, very good. So just keep the team engaging. And anybody has any idea how to overcome technical difficulties? Anybody has other ideas they may be using, they may be trying? So how to overcome technical difficulties when you use the hardware and software? Yeah, social contract. We talked about social contract earlier. Try to schedule meeting when less people are working. Okay, that's a good suggestion. Try to do the meetings, but yeah, that could be, if you can find that. I think that will be very good if you can find that. Does anybody else has any suggestion on how to overcome technical difficulties? Many of you. Could be difficult if you are in a global role, particularly finding time. I think this is a response to the previous comment. Could be difficult if you are in a global role. Yes, yeah. So finding a time, send visuals ahead of time. Very good, Michelle. I think that's a very good idea. Send visuals, PowerPoints, deck, whatever are you're going to use in meetings. Most can still use audio and follow along. Yeah, that is right. have a hotspot hub reliable. Okay, very good. Yeah, okay, very good, very good. Those are great suggestions. Have a backup host. Very good. Yeah, I think that's an that's an excellent suggestion. That's an excellent Jill. That's an excellent suggestion. Have a backup host as a contingency. Yeah, great suggestions. And I think that is what I like about project managers. They come up with great ideas. They are problem solvers. That's one of the skill that every project manager has, to solve the problem. And when all of us get together, put our head together, we come up with great ideas. And this is the whole purpose of these webinars, to come up with come up with ideas that we can share with each other. Excellent, excellent, very good. Okay, let's move to the next one now. Time zone differences. This is another difficulty about the time zones. Like we were talking about, Krishna in India is now ready to go to sleep. So it's late for him, and I appreciate him staying so late and attending this webinar. His desire to learn things is really admirable. When team members are distributed across multiple time zones, especially with a difference of 6 hours or more, finding a common meeting time becomes difficult. That's really very true. And I had that difficulty, extreme difficulty, with one of the IBM's team that I was coaching, and the people in that team were from almost everywhere possible, starting from west coast of North America to east coast to Europe to to uh, to China, India, Australia, all those places. And it was very difficult to find a time that will work for everybody. So but there are ways to handle it. So proactively schedule meeting whenever possible, share meeting times 1 to 2 in advance so people can prepare. So that's important. Maybe talk to everybody that some people have to, do some compromises and make sure that, rotate time zones, right? So that's another one, that someone has to meet outside of their normal business hours, which puts additional stress on them. So rotate time zones. So some people who are staying late in the night, so next time you meet, they don't have to stay late in the night. Maybe some other people have to get up early morning. So talk to your team. Talk to your team and do that. And the other thing that I did, which is not mentioned here, that may be specific situation, but for this team that I'm talking about, that was all across the globe. So what I did is I divided that into 3 or 4 squads, and then the squads were such that they could meet together without overburdening anybody with the time zone differences. So there was a squad created in Asia, Europe, and Australia, and North America, and those teams met, and the product owners and the scrum masters from those zones, they met together. So the advantage is that you are not trying to bring everybody together, and you're reducing that impact of time zone differences. So that's kind of ideas, and everybody is we need to make sure that we take care of people from every time zone. Take care of people every time zone. And also, I think another thing will be that if there is a possibility that somebody may not be able to attend because of the time zone differences, record the meeting. Maybe you can have their comments or using the tools like Slack or some other method, and take their input in advance, and then make the recording available, and then they can respond, they can see the recording and get back to you as a project manager. So recording is a great tool, and most of the web meeting tools allow to do recording. So recording is a wonderful thing. I use it many times, and it's really very good. So any ideas on how to overcome time zone differences? Um, Install remote admin software so the network can log in remotely to fix. Oh yeah, okay, that was for the previous one. Okay, that was for the previous one. Anybody has any ideas to how do we overcome the challenges of time zone differences? So I shared what uh, what came to my mind, but you're welcome to share what you think we can do other than what I have put on this slide over here. Anything that comes to your mind? Well, you're thinking, I know, or maybe typing. Uh, so okay, let me move on to the next one, and when it comes, I can jump back here and talk about that. So let me go to the next one here: cultural or cultural or language differences. So that's another one. That's another one, and this is mostly happen. It can happen in co-located teams also, but it becomes more critical when you are not together. So when you're together, you're sitting across the table, even though the cultural and language differences create problems or issues or challenges. But when you are not sitting across the table, when you're not sitting together, this becomes a bigger thing. This becomes a bigger thing. Uh, so based on the culture, the countries and regions, uh, so what can be done about it? You can turn it around. You can take advantage of exposure to different culture and keep an open mind. So learn about others' culture, learn about what they do, how they do, why they do, and what they like, what they don't like, and things like that. What is some of the things they are sensitive about that may be normal here, but other place there may be a sensitivity attached. So I think learning about that culture, if you have team members from different cultures, then language, probably they have to come back and for all professional communication, probably they may have to English or some common language, but culture is something that still is different. So learning about others' culture is important, and one of the ways to ask them, what how things go in your culture, and what are the good things, what people see as a good thing and what people see as a bad thing. So that's important. Is there anything that I should be aware of so that I don't say or I don't act in a manner to be disrespectful? So I think those are some of the things that we need to know. And now today's world is so much interconnected. So not only good things happen, but the COVID-19 also spreads because we are so much connected. So it worked actually not in good way. If we were not so much connected, maybe it was localized at some place because when in the last and such kind of pandemics happened, they were not like all over the world. So they were located, they were confined to certain areas. But now the world is so much connected that something that happens thousands of miles apart, can impact, and we see that impact. So understanding those is important in a connected world. Uh, Language, not just the language differences, many factors can play in such differences, such as differences in mannerism. So there are some companies who offer trainings on multiple culture. So take those trainings if your company allows you to for those trainings. Some companies I know they have videos that you can watch. So take advantage of that. And cultural differences can cause misunderstanding. So use, once again, come back to the team charter or social contract. It's so important these days. And in a virtual environment, I will say, if you can do just one thing, have a team charter or social contract with your teams. That's going to go, even if you are not, this term has come from Agile. So even if you are not following Agile, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So having a team charter social contract is important, so important for virtual teams or people working remotely, is that it has never become so important. Because we were all together in the office, every day we come, we do things, and we have the informal social contract there all the times. So all the times. But now the things have changed. So I think just having a social contract can solve more than one challenge. So this is so important when you go back to your teams. All of you may be managing multiple projects, maybe managing multiple teams, for those projects. Have a social contract. And if social contract, it looks like Agile or something else, you can use the word team charter. Or you can say team charter for virtual or you're working from home, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But some kind of agreement with the team. That's very important. So involve the whole team and create this charter. And if all the team cannot meet because of time differences, you can use other tools like, you can create a thread on Slack, or you can have a document on SharePoint or somewhere, and people can put their ideas, and then you can collaborate and do that. Yeah, so okay. Any other ideas that you have to bridge the cultural gap? Yeah. Yeah. Butch is saying team social contract is so important. Yeah, as I have been talking about, easy to overlook but critical to success. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Be extra sensitive and patient with culture-related accents, intonations, style of communication. Ask clarifying questions. Very good. Excellent, Ajay. Very good. Ask clarifying questions. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So all of you have great ideas. Okay. So then about learning curve. So some people are never exposed to working as in remote environments. They are not used to. They have never worked in a remote environment. Okay, they have always gone to work every day in the morning, work at the office, come back. So they have never been exposed to this. So they have a very steep learning curve. For some of us who are used to work from home, maybe not 100%, but a percentage of your time, and many of us do that, right? Even before COVID-19, we used to work from home, and for us who have been working from home for quite some time, there may not be a very big learning curve. Maybe it's minor things we have to take care. But for some, it's going to be a huge learning curve. So you need to make sure that all such people have resources, and everybody, not only such people, everybody should have learning resources, learning about hardware, learning about software, including some documentation, and a support person. I think having a support person is very critical. The people can go to, people can go to find out, how to do this. And in our organization, Philip is a great resource, is a great support person. He is helping our instructors, he is helping the students, he is helping everybody how to use the technology, how to use the web software, how to do this. And so you need to have a person that people can go to if they need help. So that will be very important. So in your teams, either you can be that person, or you can find somebody who is a pro in web conferencing, web calling, and working remotely. You can take help from that person, and he or she can be a go-to person. So it's very important to provide any kind of support or learning resources, including a support person. Um, so the thing is that if they miss, the attendees have trouble adjusting to learning curve, they may miss key items in the meetings, or are not able to connect, right? Uh, and difference between technology at home may also come into play. I learned about a professor in Missouri, MSU, and he has never taught remotely. Now he has to teach remotely. He doesn't have any kind of hardware, software at home, and he has very nice infrastructure in his office. Now he has to bring all of those things, set it up at home, and he's getting some support. But it is a big thing for him. It is a big thing, and he is a great professor, but never did this in the past. Okay, so never did this in the past. So expect that there will be learning curve. There will be learning curve, and support your team. Support the team members, your stakeholders, your customers, in making sure that they get used to this. And there are software, there are things that they can be deployed and very effective too. Any more ideas on uh, how to help with the learning curve? Any ideas how to help with learning curve? So you might have faced it, or you might know somebody who might have faced it. So how to take care of learning curve? I put some ideas over here. Be patient. Yeah, Jill, be patient. Yeah, and provide training before implementing new process or technology. Yes, I think this is important. Some process of sharing best practices. Yeah, where Mustafa, when one has accent, there is a good chance. Okay, so he's talking in the previous challenge. Individual training. Yeah, Ajay. Yeah, individual training, maybe one-on-one training. And training is not going to be like hours. It's going to be maybe 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes. It will not take more than that. So 10-15 minutes. It's not a huge like you have to sit down for hours and hours. No, that's not. Yeah. Lyle is talking about provide multiple types of support to help people who have different learning styles. Yes. Yeah. So yes, absolutely, provide multiple ways of learning. Yeah. So this was the last challenge that I had here. Does anybody see any other challenge that I have not covered, other than those 6 that I listed here, and we talked about each of those challenges? Anybody can think of any other challenge for that people working from home may face, and can create issues for your project? Anybody? Social isolation and mental health wellness. Yes, you are very right. You're very right. And we see that the you have kids at home, and younger kids even don't understand. They want to go out, and that creates a stress on parents, right? So social isolation, and but at the same time, I think for the social isolation, what I'm doing, and what I tell others, use Zoom or something like that, and have fun with your friends over Zoom. Talk to them over Zoom. and they can get together maybe whenever they want to. And a lot of students, I know a lot of students are doing that. They, after dinner, they have a long chat on Zoom. University has provided them Zoom, and they talk for hours on Zoom, which is good, because when 4 or 5 of you sit down and talk, then it reduces the stress. And with the reduction in stress, the mental health wellness, that helps there. But if you are socially isolated, sitting in your home all alone and not, then that can create problems. So I'll say you cannot go out physically, but you can go out virtually, right? You can go out. There's so much of technology, so much of facilities. So don't you have to distance from others physically, but you can still talk to them. You can have a dialogue. You can get together as a friends, and as a group of friends, and have chats, have conversations, share what is going on in your life and understand what's going on in their lives. So so that is what I will suggest, and that's what I'm doing. I actually do probably more calls these days than I have done in the past. All relatives and friends, they call me from wherever they are all over the world, and I talk to them. So I think this is we even are celebrating birthdays via conference. Well, that's great. That's great. Yeah. I remember my daughter's birthday was 30th March. She was supposed to be here for the birthday, but she was not. So all of us sang the birthday song on Facebook, not on FaceTime. So we so that's those are the virtual cake. Very good, very good, very good. What a better diet than a virtual cake. Yeah, so you're not eating that sugar and still having fun. Great. Okay. So in conclusion, due to coronavirus concerns, more people need to work virtually. With more people working virtually, more chances of miscues and conflict. Be proactive in preparing and keeping an open mind to address. Those are some of the recommendations. Stay home, stay safe, and stay productive. And anybody has any questions that I would like to respond in next 4 or 5 minutes. Next Lunch and Learn is happening on projectmanagement.com. And you are more than welcome to join, and you have to register to projectmanagement.com. If you are not a PMI member, you may not be able to register. But later on, we'll make the recording. You cannot do that recording. Recording will be on projectmanagement.com, but we can make the slide deck available. So register at that. And our next virtual call training is on Agile for Waterfall and operational work. And many of these trainings, web trainings, we have reduced to half a day. They were like a day long, and sometimes they're two day long, but we have reduced them to half a day, and we are offering at least 4 trainings, one every Friday. So Agile for Waterfall and operational work is happening on April 17. And if you see this, you can see that there are other recipe to deliver projects successfully on May 1. That's a Friday. And Agile for operational work, you can see the two Fridays, that here. Backlog grooming, that's happening. There is a 1 day and there is a Friday. Kanban is on a Friday. Business requirement gathering on Friday. So each Friday, we have a half-day class on a topic. Each Friday, we have a class, half-day class. So if you go on our website, you can find out which class you would like to take. So we are going to run these 4 classes: recipe to deliver projects successfully, Agile for Waterfall and operational work, backlog grooming, and business requirement for Agile projects. So these are the 4 classes that we are going to run, every Fridays, like every month you have a class kind of thing. And then The one Friday, the extra Friday that we get in May, we have Kanban class. So this will be once a quarter. Every other class will be once a month. And you can utilize that. And we have reduced it to half day. We have customized it to half day so more people can attend. And we are offering it every month. So if you or somebody you know, they are interested in these classes and learning during this time, we have made it available for you. And all these classes, as you see, they are all online. So PMP exam prep is online, and ACP exam prep, it is online. Agile fundamental 2-day class is online. So all these classes are online, and we are very soon coming on Agile fundamental self-paced learning class. We will be going to release it in next couple of weeks. So you can learn it in a self-paced online mode. Okay, so that brings up to the end.